Have a pleasant day, ma'am. So for today, we're going to present to you the report that were made together with Mr. J.K. Cross. But for this report, I'm only the one who will report this since Mr. J.K. Cross is not around. So moving on, Module 8 is our report entitled Elements of Arts and Principle of Design. And the objective is at the end of this module, student will able to um, first identify and discuss the different elements of visual arts. And next, discuss the principle of design. For introduction, the elements of art are sort of like atoms in such both serve as building blocks for creating something. You know that atoms combine and form other things. Sometimes they will casually make a simple molecule as when hydrogen and oxygen form water or H2O. If hydrogen and oxygen take a more aggressive career path and bring carbon along as coworker, together we might be something more complex like molecule of sucrose. So in this part, it's just comparing the atoms together with the elements of art since in atoms it was being combined to form something, but also same with elements of arts that in order to make a beautiful and successful art you need to combine um, some elements, one or more than one, in order to be successful in creating art. So if you like to make arts that is more complex, you must combine all or more than one element. So it is being compared to a molecule of sucrose, which is very complex in the term of in combination of atoms. So we have the seven elements of arts: line, shape, form, space, texture, value, and color. So let's find out. The elements of art and are basic components of art making. It's possible to create work of art without using at least one or seven elements of art. In order to be successful in creating creation, the artist must able to intelligently use the elements of art. Artwork can also be analyzed according to the use of elements in the work of arts. So I just what I said earlier that making an art is just like building blocks of atoms, which is combination of one or more elements in order to be successful and become beautiful the creation of your art. And according to this, it's very impossible without to create an art without using at least one of these elements. And it's not just it's just not a just using the elements, but you the artist must be intelligently use these elements, so he or she must find that can make his art become beautiful. And with using this art, it's not just simply using it, but using your being intelligently also. So, the elements of art are the building blocks of arts. Every piece of art created includes one or more of these elements. Learning about lines, color, shape, value, space, and texture. So it's very impossible to create an art without using these elements. So moving on, the first element is lines. Line is the elements of art. It is the mark make upon the surface in order to be aligned. The mark length must be longer than its width. Um, there are many types of lines, including horizontal, vertical, wavy, diagonal, and more. Line may be two or three-dimensional, descriptive, implied to abstract. So some of you may be thinking that lines is just a straight line, something like that. But according to this, in terms of arts, there are some types like horizontal, vertical, wavy, diagonal, or more. So including the wavy is types types of lives. So lines. So just like to what we learned from our math subjects, that lines is being formed the two dot with connected with lines. So that's that one. So line. And next is the shape. These are the areas enclosed space that are two-dimensional. Shape are flat and can only have weight in wide width. So shape and different with line. Shape has a height in width. So anything that we see in our surrounding may um as a form of shape. So like ball pen, like anything that we have in our surroundings. So basic shape, as we um, learned from our previous grades, elementary grades, like triangle, rectangle, square, circle, so something like that. Space is illusion depth of flat surface. You might be overlap on something look closer and object in smaller rock like they are faster away. So the only thing that I say is space is the we commonly see it applied to 3D paintings. Usually you can see to the what we call letterings of letter. So letterings of letter. So they use space illusion in order to make the front of the letter become bigger and have something illusion that it's coming from far apart, coming from far, going to you. So something. The value. Value is relatively slightness thickness of a shape in relation to another thing. So value is that this is the one that perform what the effect that you are going to use, dark or slightly dark or light or bright, like that. So may in this value scale below show the standard variation of tones. The lighter one, the end is the spectrum. In the term high K, those darker and are low K. So this element will decide on what the tone we're going to apply to your artwork. The colors. So without reading the description, colors is the things that make our artwork, or the elements that make our artwork become more eye-catching, attractive to the audience. Since colors brings a lot meanings to us, maybe happiness, sadness, so like that. That we some people relies on color and depends their emotion on it. So let we let say that colors give lives to our painting. Textures. The element towards refers to the way way things feel and looks as if they might feel in touch. So when you say texture, so when we touching something in our surroundings or even to our body, we feel something rough that produce some friction. So that is the thing that we call texture. So not only for touching, but when it comes to artwork, textures may be visually viewed. You can see if the painting or artwork are rough or or other things. So not just for sense of touch, but also visually we can say what is the texture of that particular artwork. So this is an example of texture. As we can see, this painting is um we can say visually that this painting are have texture of being rough since the stroke of brush is very hard. So that one. So this one prove that the texture is not only being judged using our sense of touch. Seven is form. The element of ours that's three-dimensional closest objects includes height, width, and depth. So compared to shape, according to the description of shape, shape has the width and width, the height and width rather. So what's the difference between form? Form is a three-dimensional. So that is the difference, which is in an object that's only have height and width, but comparing with this form, form has is a three-dimensional. So because of that, it has a height, width, and depth. So give me the example are the sphere, pyramid, cylinder, and the cube. So we're done with the elements. So we're in the principle of design. So principle of design differ from the part that has to have a purpose. Visually, this function is interpreted by making sure an image has a center of attention in point of view of focus. So in addition to elements that make our painting beautiful and accessible, we need also consider and apply these principles. So balance. We need to balance our designs, the shape that we're putting to the artwork, maybe the colors, the shape, the lines. So we need to balance it in order to make um, um, look clean and organized when the view when the viewers see it. When it comes to emphasis, if there's something we need to emphasize or we like to make to give focus on it so that the audience can easily recognize what the things that we like with the things that um the painter or the artist like that audience to focus, we they must use the emphasis. So they need make something different to that particular object, like different in color or much bigger, something like that, in order to make become attractive to the audience, so they can recognize that this object is the one that artists want to emphasize. Well, in pattern, so in painting, it's not just only making. So let's say in painting, it's not only like in drawing some things in this part and to this part, but we need to consider the pattern. If you draw something in this, you need to draw also for the if you draw something on the right side, you need also to draw something in the right side in order to make a contrast and to balance your artwork and use some pattern. For example, if you use the light colors, you applied a light color also to the others to other part. So something like that in order to make your artwork become beautiful. So according to this pattern is a repeating of an object. You may also use or repeat the patterns in order to make attractive to others. The repetition based from it repetition is the repetition of objects to make it attractive in order to make beautiful. So rhythm. So mostly was saying that art is not just like a music that has tone, rhythm. So just like for art. art says something to the audience and message to them, maybe idea or knowledge like that. So this is the work of writing, to give lives on it and say what the artists want to portray or to say to the audience using the application of writing. So proportion is the very important. It is the sizes of the objects that you draw. You draw or you paint or any artwork you put to a canvas. For example, you will going to draw the tree in the house. So what do you think is the bigger one? So in the real world. So of course the tree. So when it comes to painting, you also base on it. So when you draw a house, make sure that the tree is much bigger on it compared to house. So that is the work of proportion. So variety. So in drawing, in making paintings or any artwork, carving, something like that, molding. So you're not just using one thing or one design. You need to put something different, something that can be recognized by audience, that not um new and unique, in order so that was the work of variety. Unity, you may combine something. So from variety, the differences of things, objects that you put on your design or the artwork, you need to combine it to make as one. So it's not good to say that your painting is scattered with the objects. It's must say good and clean if it is united. So being combined to make one thing is just like say to the first part of this report that painting or artwork is just like a building blocks of atom that are being combined to create something. So this is the painting. Oh, this is um the sample of the unity. Maybe combination of different color variety, repetition, but is being united in order to become beautiful painting. So probably if I being present this to together with my classmate, there's some activity that I want um to give to them, which is, so look around with your place and get something that you recognize an art. So that is one the thing that I want them um to do. Then explain it to us, and if possible apply our topics on explanation. So I want them to get something on their surroundings and explain it, what the elements and principle of design are applied on it. For example, the ball pen. This is what is the elements that being applied in it. For example, the shape, the color, or in the principle, what the applied on it, the texture, what is the rating on it. So something like that. But unfortunately, we have no enough time to report this together with my classmate. But aside from that, so thank you very much, ma'am, and for those who will listen this report, and thank you for your cooperation. So thank you, ma'am. Have a good day. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.